Welcome everybody, here's your Strategy Wolf, and welcome back in Victoria 3. Welcome back with Denmark here in January 1st, 1839. Welcome back to our new Let's Play with the Charters of Commerce DLC, and I'm really excited to be back. And for those of you who have been waiting, yeah, it's been a rough week these days, so I've been a little busy, so I couldn't answer to all your questions yet. However, as a little sorry, I'm doing a double trouble once again, since I know most people want to see Victoria on this channel, so I skipped Manor Lords and Pentiment a little bit. We're gonna do 2 episodes, so quite excited to get in and continue our story over here. But before we get in any further, some little disclaimers on the beginning, since I've been playing in single player for a little bit in Victoria 3 now with the current mod and patch state, to check it out further, and I had a brilliant time. However, I found out I had an Austria run, and this kind of ruined it for me. And the same stuff is happening. We had a ridiculously high assimilation going on, and we have 3 years in. Normally here in South German starts definitely smaller than Czech. In Bohemia I checked it. Same with Central Hungary. I think South Germans start with like 150,000 and they assimilated in 3 years to 640. I have no idea how this happened so quickly. So yeah, it's already happening here. Here were some South Germans here in the Banat and so forth. But yeah, as you see, in every single province here of the Austrian South Germans, really, apart from the Italians, that's the only place where it didn't happen. Haven't fully understood where this was coming from. But yeah, all these Balkan, Hungarians and Czechs and so forth were really assimilated so quickly. I guess the same is happening over here with the Poles, with the Germans, and the same here with the Occitans, with the French, which is in the end not super essential for the game, I know. Let's see for the Catalans, by the way. Yeah, looks also like that, right? Yeah, if you have any clue where this is coming from, I will definitely try to put the mod list down in the video description now. Where this might be coming from, I went through all the mods that I had installed. I couldn't find a proper solution or answer to this. And since I like the rest, and since Denmark is probably not being affected too heavily from this, apart from, yeah, if we integrate here our German subjects, there might be little mix-ups. It's just more the world around us, and it's annoying. But yeah, I don't know if we can do anything about it. I've seen this the first time in my Victoria career, this speed one. I activated a mod that I had deactivated before, like figuring out the crashes. That was called Assimilation Fix. That was supposed to slow it down, but it was last updated in December 24 or 24 logically. So I'm not sure if how properly it's working with this one, if this like later activation will help us in this game to change stuff. Yeah, we shall see if this is game breaking up or we can play with like this. We're gonna definitely try it and start and keep on going with this one. So yeah, just that you heard out of it, for us it shouldn't be too relevant. Period. 3 minutes in and already nothing played. But back to Denmark. So we're here with our Denmark. We're doing the Hygge run. We're trying to have a liberal, happy society, happy people, but we're also trying to lose all our possessions over here. That's why we're doing diplomatic, increasing ties with all our neighbors, and to get better in trading and make use of our maritime situation and our position. We are trying to get good treaties out. So we have one with the French and one with the British so far, which enables us to trade better in this direction. And we are having 3 events to get started off to start the year. So let's get in. Mineral deposits from the Morgenröte events, and I think I'm gonna read most of them, at least in the beginning, to you guys, so we know what's going on. And because we're gonna play single player, I also click over them too quickly sometimes and miss out. So let's go. Geological investigations in a previously undeveloped region have revealed a rich deposit of minerals. Sven Oxholm is not yet sure what the main aspect of his search should be. A mineral is an element of chemical compound that is usually crystalline and formed by geological processes. The majority of the approximately 6,000 mineral species known today and recognized as independent are inorganic, but some organic substances such as malite and evinkite, or the kidney stone formers, wetherite and weatherite, are also recognized as minerals because geological processes were also involved in their formation. Including all known mineral varieties and synonymous names, as well as mineral species that are not yet recognized, there are over 7,000 mineral names. Quantity or quality? Quality, I would say. One rare mineral, let's go for it. Whatever we can do with them later, I haven't really figured out. Devout Scandal. Has been revealed that Jacob Peter Münster of the Church of Denmark has been arriving a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. He's quite happy at the moment. But to be honest, like long term, I definitely would like somebody else than a traditionalist. Let's see what we can get else, and we're getting a royalist. That's better. Albert Ahlefeld. Young one. Oh, he's gonna be there for a while. That's good. Yeah, I think probably more helpful than a traditionalist. That's good. Don't pin him. And last one, we have technical talents. In spite of the prowess of American engineers and academics, the technically inclined industrialists have begun to align themselves with the Danish-American society. That's good. We will make great strides together. Yeah, I think the Americans can be definitely a good partner for us, unless they want Greenland. Okie dokie, and then we're waiting for this one to be established, right? To be Muller ready to go, and the rest here is lead shortage. Yeah, we have no import taxes, but you know what? I even will subsidize imports a bit. Especially for minerals, since we can't get them ourselves, and let's get going, or keep on going. Yeah, we have to actually, there's no law ongoing, we should. Okay, Mountaineer, where's this coming from? I really like that Morgenröte seems to have climbed a mountain peak. No, I think that's more, they added some achievements with the mod, that's kind of cool, but I wonder when we did that. Let's have a quick look in here, by the way. This also didn't work in my Austria playthrough, by the way. We couldn't really hit all these buttons properly all the time. We have the balloonist, there's no... But there's no mountaineering ongoing. And now it doesn't work either anymore, what the hell? If you have these similar problems, now we just saw how it worked, right? If you click it once and then it's gone. Let me know if you still have similar problems, maybe you have to report us to Morgenröte. The good thing is you get a lot of notifications up here, and therefore these you can always use, that's the beauty. So let's do some medical research, I think that's better. And we have our engineer, you could also start something. He is a civil engineer then. Yeah, I think that's good, boosting technology, you don't need proof. Yeah, let's do construction. Yes, too small. Let's do some civil engineering research just for the moment. As you see, we can access the the guys down here on the Morgenrote things are with this one, but yeah, we're stockpiling gold. Interesting. We can declare an interest. We have our Caribbean interests. Let's do Russia or Livonia here, and then something in Brazil. I want to be like the hub in between places, you know. Best case would be if we can trade in between Russia and arbitrage between Russia and England. Do we want to get this Niger colony somewhere now, right? And let's reduce our taxes. We don't want to stockpile gold at all, and rather have lower taxes, yes. And we go for intensive agriculture, that's good. I should definitely be using those guys, this one immediately. As I said, I want to have everything, rather have places that are not fully stacked. Yeah, we need now more fertilizer, of course. Oh, here we should be. Maybe it wasn't the smartest move, but let's import some. I think at the moment we're just exporting. Then let's rather bring a little export tariff. The thing is, we don't have any sulfur, right? I mean, we could also build it. Do this later. Oh, we do have sulfur. Oh, in Iceland. then let's prioritize. And then Togo, interesting. Let's build them actually. What else can we build in Togo? Our little colony, does it have, and we never really checked. It's just a plant that grows here still. At least some resources. I will then, but I will start with Iceland. I wanted to do the shipyards first, so we can found the company first. That's the idea. 2,000 I don't want to add here. We haven't really checked the laws over here, if you can change something to the better. Yeah, there should be some stuff. Unitarism is good. Foreign policy, that's probably good. Military, no. Diplomatic embassies would be lovely. Can we afford poor laws? I think we could. Or do we pro-business regulations? We kind of want migration attraction, I guess. Or we can go directly here in industrial. I think light industry is better since we don't have... as you see, steel, arms, artillery, munition, electrics, explosives, these things we don't have too much. This one is better, yeah. Shipyards, more tooling. Yeah, perfect. Light industry is good for us. However, the rural folk doesn't like it too much. That would be something we could do. Public. Yeah, he's in my last playthrough. I didn't really go for this one. University throughput, that's smart. And it makes the intelligentsia happy. That's a kind of a good one. I think we can afford the bureaucratic. But also this one, I mean, we can talk about local autonomies. But are we talking also about Greenland and so forth? I guess this makes maybe sense. But long term, I would like to centralize potentially. Could get going, by the way, in the meantime. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go here for the public sector because sector investments. I think this fits us kind of well. How are we doing over here in Schleswig in den Holstein? The seismometer. Christian Wadenstirner and Sven Oxholm today present a new apparatus for recording seismic activity. The seismometer is a first step towards better detecting earthquakes. In response to a series of earthquakes near Cumberry in Scotland in 1839, a committee was formed in the United Kingdom to order to produce better detection devices for earthquakes. The outcome of this was an inverted pendulum seismometer constructed by James David Forbes, first represented in a report by David Milne Home in 1842, which recorded the measurements of seismic activity through the use of pencil placed on paper above the pendulum. Designs provided did not prove effective, according to Milne's report. It was Milne who coined the word seismometer in 1841 to describe this instrument. Oh, we are technologically ahead of time. It's good. Seismo. It is certainly useful for our academics. Rather strengthening our researchers over here. How is the situation looking like with the fertilizer? Oh, we're importing fertilizer already. Oh yeah. Oh, just no. I think their farms have not been fully stocked. Oh yeah, that's the thing. And now, oh, that's good to see. Now we're just making more central banking. Very nice. Gives us here the central bank a little bit of better stuff. Yeah, wow. Still at the limit. And we can go ahead with doing something else. Probably in this area here. Central archives, maybe modern sewage. Pharmaceuticals. Always good, so we can enact some health system probably. Would be useful. Something that increases even our trading capabilities, mechanical tools. Yeah, let's do the tools quickly, they're always helpful. And then I guess we're gonna go for pharmaceuticals later on. Yeah, military is not our focus, as we rely on partners anyways at a long time. Yeah, okay, we have the balloonist stuff. Not gonna read this again, but yeah, good luck for the next time. Failed a bit. Gialos presents a new calculation. Spira. Who's him? South German, okay. Has proposed a calculation of the real age of the Earth, blah blah blah. The scientist considers the previous measurement to be incorrect and estimates the age of the Earth to be significantly higher. Since our geologist is one of the esteemed representatives of this subject, we were also sent a copy of this thesis. From the beginning of the 19th century of the middle of the 20th, the determination of the age of the Earth remained vague and was, for the most part, subject to repeated debates and hostility. The question of the age of the Earth was often related to the question of evolution, because this needed a sufficiently long period of time to function as a theory. Until the turn of the century, many scientists believed that the Earth was only a few million years old. At the end of his life, Lord Kelvin only assumed that it was 20 million years old. But even Charles Darwin, who was one of the maximalists who defended his thesis, believed in around 300 million years. It was not until the discovery of radioactivity that the age of the Earth could be correctly determined and the true extent of the age of the Earth, and therefore the entire solar system, became known. Convincing, or... These calculations are convincing. By the way, guys, yeah, as I said, we're playing with Morgenröte, and therefore I think I'm reading these texts to you, but we should have a look also at this war going on here, the reactionary between Prussia and France about who's taking control over here. Yeah, if you guys don't really fancy me reading all these texts, I mean, it will lengthen the speed of the episodes a bit, stretch everything a bit, but I mean, you're here, I guess, because you want slow, or at least not just rushed content with jumping from one to the other. At least that's my ambition. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it, since yeah, if I'm just boring you with reading out these Morgenröte texts that are massive, then it might be useful if I stop. Austria and Prussia supporting Belgium reactionaries. That's definitely the intention of the Holy Alliance. I mean, they're not super reactionary, I feel like. A reactionary, of course they're supporting them. And the French and the liberals. Okay, I'm sorry guys, this doesn't make sense. I'm back on track, but yeah, okay. Diphtheria epidemic, okay. An epidemic broken out in one of our states. Diphtheria is ravaging in Zealand. Diphtheria is an acute infectious disease that occurs primarily in children and is caused by an infection of the upper respiratory tract. Pharyngeal diphtheria. Pierre Fidel Bretonneau introduced the term diphtheria into medical usage in 1826 as diphtheritis. The word refers to the throat tan, dark pseudomembraces, leathery brown deposits in the larynx and trachea, made of dead mucous membrane and blood components. Diphtheria has been known since ancient times. Hippocrates had already described the disease. Diphtheria is fatal in 5 to 10% of cases. In children under 5 years and adults over 40 years, the fatality rate may be as much as 20%. So, my throat is tightening too. Ugh. Yeah, our doctors can do something about it. He has to stop his research, though. How far have we come? How quick is this going up? Yeah, we'll stop it. I'd rather take care of the... It was good to do the research, but I'm rather taking care of the disease description here with Sven Bonde. Sven Bonde, one of the leading minds of the Medical Society of Denmark, has agreed to travel to a state affected by the epidemic and to research the disease here. The doctor hopes that this could result in a complete description of the disease. A complete description of a disease is a first step towards understanding it and later combating it. Descriptions do not yet have a direct effect on evaluation, but are foundations of a later treatment method. Physicians who study an epidemic in their own country work more effectively than physicians on a trip abroad. Yes, you can study that. Helps us in the future. Because we definitely don't want to lose too many people to these terrible diseases. And also improve relations with Norway. Yeah, ship. We are still taking lots of time. Okay, now we're not doing any gold stashing anymore. Quick look of our, yeah, oh, we're becoming again already the Denmark we want to be, exporting bacon to the world. And there we go, taking the imports. Croup. Dr. Blond was found that many doctors usually cannot tell the difference between the rather harmless croup and the dangerous diphtheria, and has highlighted the difference in an article. When a Prussian-born Dr. Abraham Jacobi noted in a medical conference in 1860 that there were around 122 cases of diphtheria in New York, his colleagues were astonished. They had not diagnosed any diphtheria at all during the same period. The lack of knowledge in the field of children's illnesses was one of the reasons for the founding of the first children's hospital in the USA, in which diphtheria played a special role. Jacobi is regarded as the father of American pediatrics. Well observed. Okay. And leathery larynx. Dr. Bondi has identified one of the main features of diphtheria as the leathery pseudomembrane that extends to the larynx and causes suffocation. This characteristic is typical of the disease to distinguish it from others. We can establish the identification of malignant and angina in 4 ways. By extensive researches on the morbid anatomy of the disease, 60 autopsies being performed in the course of a few months. By clinical observations whereby we proved that the angina, if led to itself, almost invariably intended to attack the larynx, and those give rise to the symptoms of croup. By chemical examination, by which he proved the identity and composition of the false membrane in the pharynx with that in the trachea. By the study of works of earlier writers. By the way, when I'm reading all this and we're talking about this, I still have absolutely no clue what actually what the larynx is. So, if you feel like you have to teach me about more medical knowledge, more medical details, let me know. Just had a roommate who was a doctor. She had to study for German, medical German, but unfortunately she left today. So my chances ran out where I could ask her for like these details. However, I would probably have forgotten by the time I stopped the recording. Maybe I have smart doctors in my viewership, so you can let me know if they're missing out, or like explain to the people here what's going on actually, and what I've been talking about. Yeah. Now this is going down quicker than expected, but okay, we'll survive. And with the investments, I mean, at some point we also need a new government administration, I think. Okay, we have no problems anywhere, so we can also use the scale effects in Zealand. We're gonna be highly centralized in the end here, right? We're already moving to Zealand. Do we have greener grass here? Oh yeah, we do. In the meantime, yeah, we've played half a year, right? So, but I think you can see it's growing. Look at how quickly this is growing. This is insane. It's still happening. Or is this just a regulation? Is this just a growth? I think this is the growth, right? The Hungarians are also growing. 65% here in central Hungary. Yeah, but still, I mean, you can see that it's way too high. That no, it's going down. As you see, this was 65.5. Yeah, it's still happening. What I witnessed, I don't know what to do about it. Damn it. Yeah, thank God we don't have a multicultural country over here. We would kind of hopefully ignore it. Monument to the King, yeah, we know this event. Prestige or... Prestige is also helpful for trading and so forth, right? But... could overtake here. Sweden. Yeah, let's overtake Sweden, of course. Okay, this is a matter of importance. Empty pockets, series of poor decisions to the liberal movement. Liberal movement is good, I guess. Don't go for the one where they lose less. Anti-Prussian association demands action. Embargo, no. Go to Prussia. I don't want to necessarily provoke them. We can bear these -5 over here. That's okay. Portrait of the king. Wow. Getting extremely arty these days, or royal. Definitely gonna do this. Portrait of Frederick von Oldenburg is still missing to the official gallery of Denmark's heads of state. Christopher Ekberg is considering an obvious candidate to properly showcase the ruler. Yeah, create a portrait, definitely. 1 month, yeah, we have to take care of the finances again, oops. Fundamental changes in audience taste due to political, social and cultural changes in the country have led to a change in the preference for literature genre in Denmark. Popular romance novels refers to an extensive genre of trivial literature that is aimed primarily at the female readership and whose structure mostly follows trivial, i.e. easily accessible basic patterns. However, not every romance novel can be classified as trivial literature, as topics such as child deaths, abuse, fatal illness or similarly complex topics cannot be easily trivialized. Let's come and go. And Sven Oxholm has now made a name for himself in the world of geology. At his chair, people often asked for advice from him, and letters from colleagues from all over the world were piling up on a mailbox. This will boost the reputation of his university, yes. We're doing so well over here, but I feel like I need to just attack this again. Dr. Dannemann, 2C, authoritarian, Sven Bonny is a good physician now. He'd better stay at the university. They're definitely getting the pharmaceutical bonus. And France is inviting the leading medical nations to an international congress in its capital. Both physicians and microbiologists are invited. Smallpox will be the main topic of the event. We could use diphtheria, but okay. Medical conferences are an excellent opportunity to exchange medical knowledge. Achievements that were previously reserved for only one country are shared in a brotherly manner. Medical conferences can only be organized by physicians, but biologists with the microbiology specialization are also invited and can share their knowledge in the field of pathogens and vaccines. If a country has both a physician and a microbiologist, both can participate. Here we're going. Oh, he made a new country record, very nice. So we get messenger pigeons. Pigeon post was rare until 1820s. In 1860, Paul Reuter used a fleet of... Oh, Reuter, okay. Used a fleet of over 45 pigeons to deliver news and stock prices between Brussels and Aachen, the terminus of early telegraph lines. During the Franco-Prussian Wars, pigeons were used to carry mail between defeated Paris and the French unoccupied territory. In December 1870, it took 10 hours for a pigeon carrying microfilms. Oh, okay. It's okay sometimes. Rather keep on going and reading every detail, but we got the drill. Prescriptions and treatments. Dr. Bonde was a unique opportunity to gain groundbreaking epidemiological insights at the Medical Congress in France. Which disease should be focused? Yeah. Should a nation attending the Medical Congress know a description of a disease or treatment for a disease that another country does not possess? Then the latter can learn in the Congress. Knowledge can only be improved about one disease. If no new knowledge is possible at the Congress, there is still the possibility of accumulating general knowledge and improving a medical technology. The participation of a physician is crucial for this. I mean, he's done so soon, right, with the diphtheria thing. Let's then do measles, maybe. Because we're gonna get the description here anyways in no time, basically. The shipbuilding takes the construction is still so slow, man. Yeah, but we want the company, I think. A remarkable portrait. Christopher Ekberg publicly unveiled his portrait of the king today, while fellow artists emphasized the audacity and innovation in parts of the government are horrified by it. That's disgusting. It's called cubism, sir. Called a cubic painting? Christopher Ekberg? I don't know what he's painting necessarily, but I doubt he was a cubist. Nevertheless, we're gonna go for artist art. We're gonna go with it. And how to distinguish diphtheria from other diseases. Dr. Bonde presented his disease description of diphtheria today. The medical faculty already sees it as a classic. Yeah, nice. It's no longer busy, that's good. I think we can also send him back to medical research, I assume. Damn, our finances are now making me a little bit worried, but okay. Medical vision was... That's actually nice that we're getting, that we in India we're building tea plantations. Clippers, 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 and the first one has been finalized. Only one more to be able to build the HP Moller. Promise we're not really running them, right? No export terrace, please. Nice, the Korea is over, and we at the same time we're getting the investments in the public sector, which yeah, now gives us a little bit of a bureaucracy problem, back into financial problems, and yeah, but we made a move over here. This is actually, I never had these investments going on. Are they? A lot of stuff actually to do down here. Nope, the investments here into the public. Oh yeah, we could improve this. But I think it's a good step for an interesting future. At the same time, yeah, we finished the diphtheria stuff. And here quickly the germ theory we can, as the last thing of today. Germ theory is reinforced. Medical Congress also offered the opportunity for several doctors to exchange ideas about the causes of the disease. It is becoming apparent that fewer and fewer researchers believe in the traditional miasma theory. Germ theory is now considered the standard, and the standard amongst those respected scholars. Of late, a certain adjustment has, indeed, made its appearance, insofar as individual countries no longer proceed in quite such a biased way as before, and one takes over from another wherever it seems to be well tried in way of means of defense. However, amidst the persistently great variety in the ways and means of combating tuberculosis, it is yet necessary to ask what measures to indeed best satisfy the scientific requirements and general findings in the fight against contagious disease. But before we come to an answer to this question, we must make perfectly clear to ourselves how infection is brought about in tuberculosis, i.e. how the tubercle bacilli invade the human organism. For all prophylactic measures against an infectious disease can only be directed towards preventing the germs of disease from invading the body. Robert Koch. This evidence cannot be dismissed out of hand. So much about this very medical episode today. I hope you liked this part of the content. Let me really know down in the comments if I should skip these texts and just like go more like gameplay oriented, or if you want the roleplay experience and the information I'm for myself like it. Yeah, let me know down in the comments, and of course, if you haven't yet, it would be simply fantastic if you leave me likes and subscriptions to support my channel a bit. And yeah, I still like, this is making me angry. If you have any solution idea or know where this is coming from, which mod is bringing this, I'm putting the mod list now. I'm writing it down definitely. Actually, making a note that I don't forget about it. So if you have any idea what could cure it, let me know. Otherwise, we have probably to live with these weird cultural assimilations over the place. Then probably Ukraine is also going to happen like this, right? Look at this. Yeah, it's a little bit sad. This makes, yeah, in the end, I don't know if these minorities challenge the AI too much, but it is sad, and it's going to be like South German blob, a Russian blob, North German, so forth. Yeah. But again, I think from our perspective, we can take this is okay from Denmark. A little bit sad for the overview of the map, but we have to live with it, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you know a solution for this one. And then most importantly, see you next time in the next episode, which for you guys will be immediately tomorrow, so don't worry too much. Thanks for watching, see you then, bye. Your Strategy Wolf.